Hello, I'm Matt from Ludo-Chrono, and today I'm going to give you an overview of Aurignac. Aurignac is a game for 1 to 5 players, ages 12 and up, and it plays for around 30 minutes per player. In this game, you either play as Mother Nature, a Neanderthal, or a Sapiens tribe. And you want to win the game by completing your objective. In the case of Mother Nature, you win at the end of the 10th round if players have not won elsewhere. If you play as Neanderthal, you want to found tribes, and if you play as Sapiens, you want to create works of art. If you have 3 of them, you win the game. And that's it for the base of the game. As you can see, each player has their own board, and in this case, I set up the game for 3 players, but you can play up to 5. You also have a center board with the Valley of Aurignac, and you're going to move around this valley, collecting resources, hunting prey, and also gathering attention from the other tribes, because you can attack each other, and from Mother Nature. So how do you play? Typically, you play in seasons, in rounds, and during a season, Mother Nature is going to draw 2 events and resolve 1 of them. However, you don't do it for the first round, and Mother Nature is also going to draw action cards. And these action cards are what she's going to do during her turn. And basically, her turn is the entire season. She can react to various events that are performed and taken by the tribes. So now the tribes are going to play one action after one another, and Neanderthal and Sapiens have different mechanisms. For example, Neanderthal, they have the first player token, and they will play with worker placement on their board. They have 6 action spots, and they have some workers to place. However, Sapiens are going to play with their cards and a deck building mechanism. So on their turn, they will take 1 action, and they will, for example, take a move action, and they can allocate more than 1 worker. And in this case, they just place 1, and they will move 1. They move 1 space, and that's the end of their turn. We move on to Sapiens. And Sapiens can either play 1 of their cards for their ability, or discard 2 cards for a move 1 or attack 1. So in this case, they will simply discard this, and it is a move 1, they will also move 1. So moving back to Neanderthal, we'll talk about all of Sapiens later, but I will explain what their board is about. So they can collect, and collecting, you can do so and collect 1 of the resources from the storage here, and if you spend a buy phase tool, you can take an additional copy of that resource from the supply and place it onto your board. So what are those resource cubes for? Well, you have silex, you have food, and you have wood. And if you want, you can fabricate. And if you fabricate, you can spend those resources to get tokens. For example, I'm going to spend my wood to get 2 spears. And those spears I can use to hunt things, hunt animals, or attack other tribes, other players. In this case, I'm going to hunt a prey. And you can see that I have a stag here, and I have allocated 1 guy from my tribe. He has 1 strength. I can spend spears to add 2 extra strength, so that's 3. I can kill this prey and get all the resources here. However, Mother Nature is watching, and I have something that reacts to a hunt action. And in this case, it inflicts a wound onto that player. A wound by itself is not big. However, if they take 3 wounds, the Neanderthals are going to lose 1 tribe member, 1 worker, and that's a big problem, and you have either to go to the cave or wait until the end of the round to get those back. So that's how Mother Nature intervenes, and she can intervene in many ways, after movements, after hunts, after a player's turn, so they can do a lot of things. Additionally, you also have found a tribe, and if you want to found a tribe, you're going to buy 1 of those tiles by paying the cost and getting that tile. And that tile is going to have an extra power. It is either a one-off ability or a once per season ability. And collecting those will allow you to move faster and to get your victory points, because those are your victory points faster. If you do your 7th one, you win the game. And that's basically it for that player. So now moving on to Sapiens. Sapiens, they use those cards and they have extra abilities with those cards, and they can, on their turn, buy a card. And those cards have costs that you can see here, and they are stronger. However, if you take too many wounds, you get those famine cards, and those are simply hindrances that you have to discard to perform weaker actions. Additionally, on your turn, you can spend food, and food allows you to move those cubes onto these tracks. And if you get to the end of the track, you've managed to do and create that work of art, and you need 3 of them to win. Obviously, some of the improvement cards that you can get will allow you to move those tracks up, and you need some resources to do so, and so on and so forth. But that's your jam, creating an engine that allows you to create those works of art. Again, Mother Nature is watching, and at every turn and every move, she tries to put the player who is in the lead down a bit. So she will react to stuff, and she will play those cards in those slots. And playing the cards in those slots will trigger abilities if she has 3 symbols of the same, and she will remove resources, inflict wounds, or maybe place the cave lion onto the board to block some spaces. So that's how she intervenes, and she doesn't want anyone to win but her. And again, as soon as someone reaches that victory condition, so 7 foundings for the Neanderthal, or 3 works of art for Sapiens, or the 10th round for Mother Nature, if no one won by the 10th round, she wins the game. So that's the basic gist of Aurignac. This is a game about having a tribe and evolving it into history, or watching over the valley and wanting to get rid of humans. That's it. Bye bye. See you on ludovox.fr.